it's Christina from Redefine Creative, and I am back with May 2nd, day 2 of 30 Days of Sketches with my friend Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. And so today's sketch has a whole bunch of big triangles in the background, and then they show this big, like, stitched or hand-drawn circle. And you guys, if you know me, you know me in circles, we don't click. So the circle parts are not going to be in my particular layout. So what I did is I went onto the computer because I have found that I am really crappy at creating triangles out of pattern paper and making them even or equal or have look like a good triangle. They always seem to be off. So, knowing this about myself, I went ahead and created some triangles just in like a Word document and printed it out so that I would have a template. And you definitely can absolutely skip that step if you are not somebody who struggles with getting a perfect triangle. For some reason, that is just, not my strength in life. So, I need a template. So I created this one in 3 different sizes because the sketch has 3 different sizes of triangles. And so I'm going to just go ahead and cut them out of a whole bunch of different pattern paper. And I am basically using the Fancy Pants Poolside collection. So this was their collection from last summer. And I love it. And I haven't gotten to play a whole ton with it. And I am pairing it up with a 4x6 photo. And this is my son. He got, from the Easter Bunny, he got this new, giant, laughing emoji face pool float. And, because he's a 10-year-old boy, that means that the big highlight of this pool float is trying to figure out how he could stand up and balance in the middle of it without falling off. And so if you watched on the Kit Club Instagram stories, I put some of his the video of him finally getting it, but it took a little bit of time. Excuse me. For him to be able to get it. And so when he finally did get to stand up, he of course wanted Mom to take the picture to prove that he had managed this feat. Okay, so based on that sketch, I have taken the small triangle in the very right-hand corner and I have cut it out of my background paper. And I added some dimensional adhesive and then I'm just backing it with more white cardstock because I want that to be like a little pocket. And I am going to put pattern paper in the back of it, but it has some depth to it. So it's going to give me a little pocket that I can tuck some embellishments into. And I really like that look. And so now I'm just kind of playing with where I want these pattern papers to go, which direction all my little triangles are going to face, and where my photo is going to fit. There is definitely a lot you could do with kind of changing and altering this particular sketch. I have decided to stay pretty true to the sketch except for the circular parts. The circular parts, I just, me, circles, nah. I didn't do it. If I was going to add it, it would have been some hand stitching. And if you watch Christy's video for today's sketch, I believe she did some hand stitching for those circles on her layout. And so I apologize for being a little bit off screen there. I am just working on those 3 little triangles in the top kind of right-hand corner. And that is just like what is in the sketch. And so in order to make all of my triangles kind of pop off the page a little bit more, I did back them with this bright yellow cardstock. And I picked bright yellow because my son's pool float is also bright yellow. And so I really wanted to bring in that pop of really bright yellow color. As far as my photo goes, I'm going to back it with a thin border of white cardstock and then a really thin border of yellow cardstock. And then I had a leftover piece of paper on my desk from a video or a layout that I had worked on before this that is from Wild Whisper Designs, their Talk Foodie to Me. And it's that pink one that you see I'm using for a photo mat right there. But it matches really well with the pink in the Fancy Pants collection, so it allowed me to bring in a little bit different pattern with that same kind of pinkish melony color. And to me, that's a really great kind of pop of color for summer. I am going to add some blue pen work around the outside edge of my layout, and then I'm going to go ahead and add it on all of the triangles as well. Some of them don't show up super bold because they already have a pretty good print going on. But I do think when you look at the layout up close, it kind of helps to create a consistency across all these different pattern papers. So it's a strategy I use a lot if I am mixing a bunch of pattern paper. If you take just one color and kind of do an edging work on everything, or if you ink all of your edges with the same color, it kind of creates, you know, more of a consistency, even if you're using papers and things and from many different collections. So I've got my big triangles. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my little triangles up there to the top, and I'm making sure I kind of have those facing in the right directions. And then it's going to be time to start embellishing. So I have pulled out just the ephemera pack and the puffy stickers from Poolside. And I'm going to kind of pull this open and start going through. And I know I want to use a bunch of the little water splashes. And there's things like pool float inner tubes and beach balls and a few little phrases. So I'm just kind of going through pulling out the things that I know that I want to use. Some of them aren't really appropriate for this particular photo, you know, like the little kids swimming and the palm fronds and things. So I don't necessarily want those. I am going to go ahead and start kind of building up clusters here. And I'm going to have one in that little pocket that I created in that last triangle that's going to hold some embellishing. And then I also have one on the left bottom edge of my photo and then the left top edge of my photo. And all of those things are just going to kind of slide in there and stack on top of each other. And then I have that really fun phrase at the top of my photo that says, "Hey mom, look at this," because this kid was like all over me. Like, "Did you get it? Hey, did you get a picture? Where's the video? Oh my gosh, mom, are you getting it? Are you getting it? I'm going to do it." And he was so excited. So that little phrase was like absolutely perfect for this layout. And so I want to get a bunch of these little water splashes on there, and it totally reminds me of not only the little crying emoji face, but also the fact that he kept falling off into the water over and over and over until he finally conquered it and was able to stand up. I grabbed that little puffy sticker red and white inner tube and kind of stuck that into my embellishment cluster. So the clusters themselves are really just like inner tubes and beach balls. I'm going to add a little phrase to the bottom that says "Poolside is the cool side." And then as I'm working, I decide to add some enamel dots to each of my clusters. So I have like a navy blue, a red, and a yellow, which is perfect for this particular collection. And as I am working on finishing up, I'm kind of ignoring the journaling and the titling spots in the sketch because I just really don't feel like I need them. There's not really a whole lot that needs to have a title. It's pretty self-explanatory. And so having those little phrases on there, I think kind of tells part of the story. I will go back and add a little bit of journaling about his antics and wanting to stand up on this inner tube so bad and spending a lot of time trying to make that happen. But none of that is particularly necessary in this case. All right, so as I am thinking through all of those things, deciding I don't really need a big title, I don't think, I do decide that I want a little bit of an embellishment cluster up on those top triangles. So I just found, you know, like a beach ball and sunglasses and another little phrase that would work with this particular layout. And I feel like that created a little bit more of a balance between all of my embellishment clusters. It still gives me that nice visual triangle with all of the embellishment clusters I already have. And that is basically going to do it for this layout. So I would love to see if you play along with this sketch today. And do make sure you also check out the layout from Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. Bye, guys.